10 surprising traits that are hereditary. Number 10. How nice you are. The gene that produces the oxytocin receptor comes in 3 variants, G/G, I/G, or A/A. Those with the double G variant, one inherited from each parent, show the highest capacity for kindness. Those with the A/A variant show the lowest amounts of empathy for others, and A/G falls in the middle. Additionally, the G/G variant has been linked to a lower risk for autism and social anxiety, with the opposite being true for A/A. A study revealed that people predisposed to be kind can maintain their niceness factor even during tough circumstances. Researchers examined how people acted when they felt fearful and related this to the variant found in their DNA. Number 9. Your interest in traveling. Some people are satisfied to spend their lives in one place without venturing far from their hometown. Others make it a priority to travel the world. The difference can be found in variations of the dopamine receptor gene. A certain variation of this gene, DRD47R, has been associated with curiosity and restlessness and is often referred to as the wanderlust gene. Number 8. How food tastes. Some people have an affinity for spicy foods, while others prefer the blandness of plain white rice or the simplicity of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. A meal that is delicious to one person could be gag-worthy for another. The flavors you enjoy are determined by genetics. Super tasters inherited more taste buds than the average person, which causes them to become overwhelmed by certain flavors. They avoid foods with strong flavors, including very sweet desserts, so it is not surprising that super tasters tend to be thin. Number 7. Your driving skills. The next time you get pulled over, you could try telling the cop to blame your poor performance behind the wheel on your DNA. A study done by neuroscientists at the University of California, Irvine found that people with a certain genetic variant are worse drivers than those with the normal gene. Around 30% of Americans have this gene variant. So if you are in the US and find yourself frustrated with 3 out of every 10 drivers you encounter, try to remember that their incompetence is not entirely their fault. Number 6. How popular you are. If you have a lot of friends, you might have inherited the popularity gene. Geneticists have identified certain genes that make people behave in likable ways. More than 200 males were analyzed in a study that compared their genetics to how popular they were viewed in a group setting. Troublemakers were rated as more popular, and they usually carried the popularity gene. The gene is still being studied for links to other likable behaviors as well as its impact in females. Number 5. Your musical talents. It takes more than years of practice to become an amazing piano player or a rock star bassist. It also requires the right genes. Researchers discovered that the tendency to practice an instrument was between 40 and 70% inherited. The conclusion was that genetics influenced both the capacity for musical talent as well as the likelihood a person would nurture the talent through rehearsal and repetition. Number 4. How lazy you are. Some people go to the gym every morning, while others view the trip from the couch to the fridge as a form of physical exertion. If the latter sounds like you probably inherited your laziness. Research suggests that our DNA determines how physically active we are. Scientists discovered areas of a mouse genome that influenced activity levels. Humans have genes that correspond to the genes identified in the mice. Number 3. Your coffee addiction. In 2016, scientists identified a gene, PDSS2, that influenced caffeine consumption. A study of populations in Italy and the Netherlands showed a correlation between PDSS2 and the amount of coffee a person drinks. PDSS2 is found in everyone's DNA, but some people have variants that are more active than others. People with a more active variation of this gene reported drinking less coffee. Number 2. How bad your hangover is. If you wake up after a bender feeling like an elephant stomped on your head a few times, it is not solely because of how much you had to drink the night before. Some people have a mutation in the gene that affects how our body processes alcohol. This mutation causes people to begin metabolizing alcohol quickly. Unfortunately, people with this gene mutation often have a related mutation that drastically slows the process right after alcohol is converted into acetaldehyde, a toxic enzyme. Number 1. For whom you vote. Our political views are not based solely on your personal values and morals. Researchers have discovered that the tendency to follow convention is influenced by genetics. A study of identical and fraternal twins showed that identical twins were significantly more likely to share the same values than fraternal twins. The 3 main values looked at were authoritarianism, conservatism, and religion. These 3 values are viewed collectively as traditionalism.